So when I was much younger, I didn't really know what to do with YouTube, right? So whenever I had a computer to myself, I would just end up typing up things like funny video compilations or cute animal videos and just spend just an ungodly amount of time watching them. And I feel like that's where I came across this video of two otters holding their hands while they were sleeping. And not that day. That day I thought it was cute, but definitely along the line I found out that they do this to avoid drifting apart from each other while they sleep, which, come on, very poetic, right? There's so many ways that care and concern for another and affection manifests itself in nature, and it's interesting to just look at that and see how humans share these instincts also. Some people will argue that humans share it in a much more complex way, but I think it's all equally beautiful to watch, and that's a part, just a part though, of the inspiration behind this video. So this is actually very unrelated to this video. I'm currently having a struggle with the way that I speak, and I want to provide some context for that. I was born in New York, but I was raised in Nigeria, and I went to primary school, secondary school in Nigeria. When I talk with my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, my friends back home, this is the way that I'll be talking, in a Nigerian accent. But I came here to the US in 2018, and at the age of 17, the only thing that you kind of want to do at that point in time in your life is to fit in, right? And I soon realized that my Nigerian accent is not very digestible to the American ear. So, at that point, my brain resorted to, fake it till you make it. And that's what I kept doing for the first year, second year, third year. By the fourth year, we're not really faking it anymore, right? It's part of me. And I don't really have a problem with that. I think right now I'm having this dissonance where I'm noticing that I have two very different personalities depending on what accent I'm talking in, right? It almost feels like that Disney Emotions, what's it called? The Inside Out movie. And I just also want to preface this by saying that I'm very much aware that this is a very first world, the third culture child problem, and takes no precedence over the actual pressing issues in the world. But I'm having this issue where I feel like I am two very different people depending on where I am and who I'm talking to. And in my quest to be my most authentic self, I'm trying to bring the same version of myself everywhere that I go. And part of this effort is to first start with my accent and mixing both my Nigerian accent and my American accent in the way that I talk everywhere that I'm going and with everyone that I'm talking to. Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. The next part of this video is about my interest in women. And yeah, that's what I said. I read this book a little while back. I think I was still in my junior year of college. It's called All About Love by Bell Hooks, which is it's a very beautifully written book that's all about love. And in case you don't know who Bell Hooks was actually, because she died in 2021. She was an icon. She was a writer, a poet, and she wrote very extensively about love, classism, racism, gender, and she was a very notable feminist. And I remember reading it and just thinking to myself that she does a great job at putting towards a lot of unspoken things about love. And if you haven't read the book, I definitely would recommend you reading it. It's one of those books that you read and you have a before and after moment after reading the book. But what particularly caught my attention in this book were her arguments about how women have a very unique ability to nurture love, and it comes from the qualities that they have by virtue of their womanhood, but also the experiences that they have being women weaving through the world. When I was much younger, I was always very drawn to the group of women or the group of girls, and it still happens till now, in a room. At that age, you can't really explain it, right? But there's this feeling of warmth, of being seen, being understood, being less judged that comes with the company of women. But, luckily you grow old and you stumble across literature that puts all of those feelings into words, and that was this book. But I remember reading it, and she mentioned how the practice of motherhood itself really helps to cultivate love and compassion in women, and that would extend far beyond just the love that they have for their offspring into the relationships that they have in their lives also. And she also talked about how women are socialized to be more attentive to people's needs and to be more present and to be more expressive and to listen more empathetically, which then just goes down the line to improve their emotional intelligence at very young ages. And then she talked about how often it is that women are the ones that actually teach men how to love deeply and how to be compassionate and how to be very sensitive, which can be actually very embarrassing when this manifests in public and you see like a couple or a girl or a wife, a girlfriend or a wife is trying to teach her husband / or boyfriend how to actually love her or even love himself. And you see this a lot in the movies. I feel very lucky because I have a lot of friends who are women, and I get the chance to experience life with them and exist in the same spaces with them and see how they interact with the world and just learn so much from them. I remember when I was reading this book, I was thinking to myself, with the innate ability to deeply love that a lot of women have, what would it actually look like when two women are in love with each other? I've been thinking about this project for a very, very long time, and it just came from like me kind of I've told you about this, like kind of just like observing the two of you. I really admired, and I constantly still do admire, like whenever I'm in the both of your you's presence, and sometimes I would get like really quiet if you notice, and it's not because I don't have anything to say. I think it's because I don't want to interrupt what's happening, because I'm just like observing, because I've not seen it done this way ever before. What's your version of the story?
So I just remember one time you were like, what should you do if you have a crush on someone? And then I got it in my head that you were asking me that because you had a crush on me. And I didn't even, at this point, I didn't even, think that I liked girls or so then I'm just like, what? I was like, what would I do? I was like, if Jess had a crush on me, and then I just was like, oh my gosh.
I feel like it just started happening. It wasn't like where most people become friends and then one person asks the other out and then that's when it turns romantic. It's like it just kind of turned romantic while we were still friends.
Okay.
So then romance officially beginning wasn't like a monumental thing as much as it was just like a label on something that was already happening.
I like how you should tell it.
What I try to tell everyone is the relationship that you're in should make you feel relief and joy in comparison to every other relationship. You shouldn't be in a relationship with someone and then need to vent to your friends about how annoying that person is. It should be you going to the person that you're in a relationship to and being like, everything about my day annoyed me. Because that's the person that you're spending 80% of your time with. So if you don't actually like that person,
And I feel like some people don't even like their partner. Love your partner. Crazy thought, but love. And don't be afraid to love.
And to be committed. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, their relationship or breaking up with someone that they really like is because they're afraid of being vulnerable and they're afraid of being committed. Which is kind of similar, because when you're committed, you're vulnerable.
Just showing each other that we would never hurt each other or never mean to hurt each other and always love each other. What were you gonna say? I didn't mean to talk over you.
But just because when you allow yourself to be really vulnerable, you allow yourself to be up to a lot of pain, but you're also allowing yourself to be open to a lot of love.
I get a little camera shy. Yeah, well I feel like I'm always just full of love when it comes to Jess. And I feel like it's something we've talked about before because we've talked about how there's this concept of the honeymoon phase. Maybe in general, but I feel like we have both specifically noticed it in straight relationships where it's you start dating and everything's fine and then after a couple of years you just start to hate each other but you stay together anyway, and it's just I don't understand why anyone would be with anyone that they don't love so much. So I feel it feels like crazy for some people to even envision that you could like love your partner so much, but like I just love like loving and being with you.
I feel like a good relationship just like makes you love yourself more, because the person that you're with should be like highlighting the amazing things about you that maybe you don't see yourself. Like you should be with someone that makes you find out more things to love about yourself than being with someone who like criticizes things. And being in a relationship, I feel like I think about ways that you should take care of yourself, so then I want to do it because we spend so much time together. It'll be a time that we can both do it, so that your self-care is being that we can do it at the same time with each other, and its intention is both for you to care for yourself and for me to care about myself. And even alone
for
time,
mental health.
like
we
we have conversations where we're like, do I need more alone time so that I can focus on being independent and like not dependent? Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
We just unpack everything. I feel like lesbians are very well known for talking about their feelings. Like,
it's like
so
a stereotype, like
yeah, it works, at least for me. Ambition, like having high ambitions, like I can do anything, because if I try to do it and I fail, I know you'll help me. Or like if I try to do it and it's hard but I can still kind of do it, like you'll probably help me like in some way, because you're smarter than me in certain areas. And I'm like,
I feel like we have different things that
Yeah.
we have more
so it's like we
knowledge
can combine
about.
forces and take on a task of one person, but as two people. It's like tag team. We have 2 team members and Gigi.
Gigiana, like she's
Gigiana will come wherever we want.
She needs to come into the room right now.
I know.
If you got to this point watching the video, thank you so much for watching. I definitely want to give a special thanks to my friends Leah and Jess for indulging me and letting me follow them around with my camera. And also a special thanks to Derek, because that 30-second clip behind his head took way longer than 30 seconds, and you know, he did have to tussle a bit, but after a while he saw the greater good in what I was doing. So that's how we got that footage. But thank you for watching. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would be taking this on as a business from now.